Okay. Are we live now? Like, seriously live? Like, actually, legitimately live and not this, like, wishy-washy BS that's going on? Like, can we please confirm this? Okay. Are we live now? I think we're good now. I think resetting everything did it some good, because it doesn't look like I'm buffering like crazy anymore. Guys, I'm so sorry. Today my computer just doesn't want to play nice. But hello and welcome everybody. The Chu-Chu Club is in full effect tonight. We are back with some Seduce Me. I'm so happy to see all of your faces. Hannah's here. Ispep's here. Cookie's here. Shelties is here. Evie's here. Evie, I've not seen your beautiful face in far too long. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have I ever tried YouTube streaming? I've not tried it. I use Twitch because Twitch is been around for a lot longer, tends to be more popular. But with the problems that I've been having, I may very well switch to YouTube gaming at some point because I really don't know what to do anymore. I don't even know if Twitch has anything to do with these problems. But anyway, I enjoy Twitch though. Okay, so why are you in the Matrix, Cookie? If you guys are having issues with the stream, like if it looks weird or if it's acting up, please say so. I'm pretty sure I fixed the buffering issue. It looks like we're good to go. So yesterday, I stayed up nice and late with you guys, which was so much fun. And we found out who these guys really are. We found out their backstory. They're princes. They don't want to get married to Diana. She needs to stay in her goddamn lane, etc., etc., and etc. Okay. So, let's continue and see how this stuff is going to resolve, because we now have to try and fend off Diana. After what seemed like hours, I finally woke up slightly refreshed. My body knew that if I slept any longer, I'd be up all night, which was not part of the plan for the day. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. I didn't know what I was expecting. Oh, look who was watching us sleep, or who was keeping us company as we slept anyway. Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, was James, rousing himself to see me awake. I smiled at him, seeing his slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes. He was so worried about Anderson, you guys. It's pretty cute. Hannah, I love big news.
You're awake. Good.
Oh, let's start that line again.
Oh, you're awake. Good. Ooh, how do you feel?
Better, fine, or eh? I don't know, you guys. I don't think that this affects the good ending. It does not. So how are we feeling tonight, guys? I think better. Shelties, I've never done Diana's route before, so I've done the 5 main guys before. If you guys are really interested, I'll do Suzu's route, I'll do Naomi's route, I'll do Andrew's route, and I'll do Diana's route. Those 4 will be totally blind, so that should be fun. If you guys want to do, I've never had an interest in them before, but I mean, it would be fun if we could do it together as a family. How do you go back? If you have like a scroll wheel on your mouse, you use the scroll wheel to go back and forth in Ren'Py. It's actually rather convenient. Do Suzu's route? Okay, well, yeah, we'll definitely get around to those routes. I'm going to do the 5 main guys first. So we're going to say we're feeling better. James nodded before he gently reached over and ran his hand through my hair, examining my face with soft sadness.
I'm sorry this is all happening to you. I really wish there was something I could do to fix all of this.
James, it's not your fault.
No, if we never came, then you'd never be targeted by either Malix or Diana.
Yeah, but they've changed our lives for the better. You should feel bad about that, James. I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear anymore. James, it's okay. I wanted to help out. I offered to let you all to stay. Nothing is your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped James's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about this whole ordeal. Diana was desperate and she'd hunt anyone for them. It wasn't his fault she was desperate enough to hunt them down. However, I was curious. So, James, you're a demon prince? James then twirled a strand of my hair around his finger, staring at it.
Yes, I am. I was.
Was?
I was a demon prince when I lived in the Abyssal Plains. I didn't enjoy a single minute of being the heir. The only moments I truly enjoyed were when I was with my brothers. Thus, I left with them to come here.
Okay, so yeah, he really didn't like the pressure that his father was putting him under. And I still want to hear your big news, Hannah. What was it like while you were there? Yes, this is the part where we're going to get to learn a little bit more about James in particular.
Well, other than consistent studying and training to be a resilient leader and all-around ruthless lord, it was bland. I never truly knew what freedom was until I was excused from my sessions.
James looked to me with a thoughtful look on his face. I stared back, wondering what was going through his mind. Then he smiled before taking off his glasses and placing them on me. Yeah, if you remember what he looked like in his demon form, he does not actually need glasses. It's part of his glamour disguise. I was surprised, but instead of seeing him, I saw dark gold and purple magic swirl in front of my eyes through the glass. Right, here we go. We got more flashbacks, you guys. The vision cleared, and I suddenly was back in the demon castle. I looked around, feeling stuck in place, but my eyes instantly landed on a demon version of James. He was sitting on the throne in the main hall, reading over a book with an intense expression. It was kind of cute to see, but he read in silence. They do make him hotter.
You'll wear out your eyes if you read too much.
Ah, Serona! James looked up from his book to see a figure materialize in front of him. It was an older woman with a black cloak and aged horns. I could see she had power, though, and it gave me shivers to look at her. Alrighty, Hannah.
Serona, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at the Lord gathering with my father?
I should, yes. But I had to stop by and see the Demon Lord's favorite son before I head in.
I am honored. However, I must apologize and return to my reading.
Of course, of course. Wouldn't want to make the Demon Lord angry now, would you?
I could see James's eyes twitch a bit at her comment. However, James simply bowed his head and went back to his book in silence. Serona shook her head and let out a chuckle.
What will you do when you become the Demon Lord? It's such a big responsibility.
James looked up once again, confused at the question. Serona simply smiled and began to walk away.
Think about that.
James and I watched her walk away, both of us with the same surprised and confused expression. I looked back at James to see him press his lips together and stare at the floor. Anyone could tell that he was lost, unsure of how to even answer that to himself. It was strange to see him in a form of weakness, jostled at a simple question that was more than it appeared. Tell us, Dad News! James closed his eyes and closed his book on his lap. It was then that I noticed the tired circles under his eyes. Had he been working himself to the bone with his with his training and reading? When was the last time he slept? Probably not very recently. The poor guy. I could feel James in the real world gently slide the glasses from my face and place them back on his. So that was a little taste of what James kind of went through. The other guys have longer scenes in this part of the game, but James is pretty straightforward. It took me a second to recenter my vision, but then I looked at James, who smiled at me. Recenter.
It was then that I decided to find my brothers. Little did I know that they were wanting me to come on a trip that would make me leave my entire realm to be in a new world.
I stared up at him, surprised, before bringing my hand gently back onto his cheek and running a thumb softly under his eye. He looked healthier and a lot less tired than when I saw him in the vision. Something about that made me happy. Oh, that's cool, Hannah. Hannah, I swear to Christ! Asagao Academy has ruined Hannah for me forever. I'll never get your name right. I'm gonna crucify myself for that. That's awful. Hannah. Hannah is such a pretty name, too, and I'm sitting here messing it up! It's all Illucine's fault. James gently leaned into my hand, closing his eyes and relaxing. He then slightly smiled, trying to joke.
So, how does it feel
Deslin!
to hold the affections of an ex-demon prince?
Deslin, welcome to the chat. I'm so excited to see you. I'm so excited to see all you guys. You guys make me so happy. I know I say it all the time, but I can't stop. I stared, feeling my cheeks glow red in surprise and embarrassment, but I smiled and giggled slightly, running my thumb back and forth along his cheek gently. I have to say, I'm flattered to think you ran away from that life. James frowned, making me stop moving my thumb as he stared at me.
I can promise you, that was no life to live.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it. That's awful, Hannah. That's absolutely awful. I'm so sorry to hear that. But it was your home.
A home is where you can be yourself, not tied to your duty.
James gently ran his hand along my cheek, gingerly outlining the edge of my eye and ear with his thumb.
Home is where all I have to do is care about the ones close to me.
James smiled and gently leaned in, kissing my forehead. I felt a small shiver run down my spine from his kiss, noting that he sneakingly took some energy from me in that little kiss.
Now, you need to rest. You're not fully recovered. You might as well rest until dinner is ready.
James smiled and gently pressed me back down onto the bed, leaning his forehead on mine. Are we going through the alphabet here? Also, yay, cookie! Oh my god. Shelties, you combo breaker! Should we steal a kiss or just smile at him, guys? Did we steal a kiss? Again, I'm acting like you guys have a choice in the matter. We know what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen. Oh, when I read the news, I said that's awesome. I'm happy for you, girl. Kiss. Okay, kiss. Everyone says kiss. Okay, we'll kiss him. Ah, I love that little heart. Fuck. Kiss the bitch. Alright, Ispep. Out of playful fun, I lifted my head and gently kissed James, softly laying a hand on his cheek to keep his face close. James stared in surprise before kissing me back, caressing my cheek, slightly melting at the touch of our lips. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away with a smile. He gently licked his lips, making me go red in the face at the simple gesture. He let out a satisfied hum before nuzzling my forehead.
Rest.
And with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per his request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress. Oh, of course, Diana. I suddenly tensed up. I felt majorly uneasy. Something wasn't right. I felt it in my core. She must be here. The thought of her in the house infuriated me beyond belief. I had to make sure she was not here. I rolled out of bed and quickly left my room, wandering the halls and listening closely. She was a demon, but I was listening very intently. There was no way she would have been able to sneak up on me. I know you're here. Where are you? Is this the endgame, guys? I could feel myself growl. It wasn't a matter of fear that she'd take away the boys anymore. Her very existence had lit a fire of rage within my gut that I only grew as each day went by. This feud was getting on my nerves, and I knew it would not end well for one of us. I wasn't going to lose to that demon bitch.
Diana? What are you doing?
This is the end game. Oh, wow. I can't believe we came upon it so fast. This game, this is, it comes up quicker than I thought, you guys. My heart stopped. Diana was with James. My mind flew into slow motion, playing fake images of Diana trying to seduce James in my head to further fan the angry flame inside of me. I instinctively followed James's voice and approached the study. The door was open just a crack, wide enough to peek in without being noticed. I peeked inside to see James by the bookshelf with Diana in one of the armchairs, looking to him.
Silly man, why do you think I'm here?
To be fairly honest, I don't really care.
I'm hurt, wounded, truly. You don't care that I came to this pathetic little world just for you?
I'm sorry, let me make this clear. You are not welcome here, so I suggest leaving.
Is that any way to speak to your fiancé?
Diana wasn't his fiancée anymore. Why was she speaking as if the arrangement was still going on?
Our arrangement was broken when I left the Abyssal Plains. You are no longer my fiancé.
What a stubborn man. Just like your father. Well, you should know. He decreed that should you return home, you'll maintain your status and keep your birthright.
James would be the heir again? Why?
I don't want it.
You don't want it. You'd give up the...
I said I don't want my damned birthright! What birthright? It's imprisonment, a life sentence! Am I not allowed to be selfish for once in my lifetime?
It's your reason for your birth. Do you not realize what you have?
I could feel James's anger emanating from the crack in the door, fighting with Diana's tension. Diana and James were both matched, staring each other down.
I know exactly what I had. That's all behind me. I'm done with that. To hell with my birthright.
To hell with your birthright. You truly think you can decide that? You are the first son of the Demon Lord. You are the heir to the throne, and I am your bride, the next Demon Queen.
Why was Diana so desperate? It irked me to see how desperate she was to get James to return.
Raystrau, you...
All of a sudden, James ran at Diana and pinned her to the floor by her neck. Oh, shit! I felt the need to jump in, but I knew James wasn't trying to do anything romantic. He wouldn't. His voice sent shivers down my spine as they continued to speak with his hand at her throat.
And what gives you the right to use my name like that? Only demons of the same blood are permitted to use each other's true names.
When our families arranged our marriage, I was given permission to use your name as mine. That's what you are, James. You are my husband. I am your queen. You are my Raystrau. I am your Izaur.
And now we know Diana's real name is Zaire. I could hear James growling in anger like he was ready to bite Diana's head off like a wolf would a small deer. I felt myself growl quietly to myself as well. However, James pushed himself off the floor and returned to the opposite side of the room, away from the prone Diana.
I do not belong to you. I belong to her.
Putting his foot down!
The human girl? You must be joking. A human like her can't possibly provide you what you need. She's a human. You're a demon.
I felt the urge to storm in and shut her mouth. It would give away my position, but I was growing extremely tired of Diana. Okay, guys. So we've been playing very conservatively as of right now. I know that I've pulled back from a lot of bitching people out, and it's been frustrating you guys, but this is the moment when we get to lose our shit on Diana. So we are going to barge in and set her straight. Are you guys excited? I decided to be assertive and quickly stepped into the room, throwing the door to the study wide open. Diana and James looked at me in surprise as I glared daggers at Diana. Get out.
Well, well, little human. You're awfully nosy in business that doesn't concern you.
Okay. So do we say I don't care, get out, or it does concern me? Because here is the thing. It does concern me.
Does it? I don't think a human would understand the importance of this affair.
You're asking him to leave to be someone he doesn't want to be. That's not going to happen.
Oh? And what makes you so sure about that?
Obviously, because we love him. Diana stared in shock at my exclamation. Was it not what she expected? I didn't care what she expected. I wasn't going to lose the man I had grown to love.
You love him?
I love the way that Michaela recorded that line. There's just such, thorough disbelief in that statement. Yes, I love him. Diana's lips twitched, the edges curling into an amused smirk as she stared at me.
So what? A human's love isn't enough to understand the situation. A demon can never reciprocate human feeling.
To both of our surprise, however, James stepped forward and put an arm around me, pulling me close to his body.
I love her.
I saw the confidence Diana had shatter in her eyes as she stared at James at his words. Bleh, bleh, bleh. I still can't talk. I could see the struggle in her face to try and find some weakness in James, in me, anything.
A demon love a human? Impossible.
It's only impossible because you don't have the capability to love. This woman has given so much to shelter me and my brothers and has given me her heart to cherish. I'd rather care for this woman for the rest of my days than spend an eternity on the demon throne. Especially if the queen is you.
Oh! Sick burn! Yeah, she is wonderful as Yandere-chan. Yep. Diana took a step back, physically feeling the sting of James's words in her chest. She'd lost. I could see it in her eyes. Diana's eyes grew dull as she glared at me and James. It seemed almost uncharacteristic of her, yet it was something I wasn't surprised to see come from her face.
Very well. Fine. Valet.
And with that, Diana faded into the ground into a purple pentagram, crossing her arms and almost looking upset. James and I were then left alone, left with the silence of the room. I finally let out air I was unconsciously holding in my chest, relaxing from the ordeal. James stepped to me and held me gently, surprising me.
Are you okay?
Alright, guys, hold on to your butts, because this is the big payoff to this route, okay? Pep, take a couple of deep breaths, because I know that you, severely lost your mind. Shelties probably knows what's about to happen. Yeah, okay. Take a deep breath, ladies and gentlemen, if Ray is still around. Let's take a deep breath. I nodded in response, unable to speak so immediately after being surprised. James let out a sigh, relaxing in the embrace. I gently placed my hands around him, returning the embrace slightly. Pep, you know what's going on. I could hear James's heartbeat. He held me close in his arms and I felt beyond words. Felt safe
I
beyond
wasn't
words.
lying, you know.
I looked up at James, wondering what he meant by what he said. James smiled down at me, moving a strand of hair from my face to look down at me.
I love you. I love every single fiber of you. Your mind, your body, your soul. You're quite possibly the most interesting woman I have ever met. You always find your way into my mind. You...
Read! Read, Hannah! Oh, we're about to experience it. I stared wide-eyed, blushing like a maniac. Was this real? No way. This couldn't be real. Was James confessing to me? Confessing his love for me? James gently smiled and caressed my cheek. The warmth of his hand invited me to nuzzle into it, and I closed my eyes. This wasn't a dream. My heart was pounding to the point where I was sure James could hear it. His Pep. James gently leaned in, closing his eyes. He stopped, however, remaining just a mere torturous inch away from my lips. He wanted me to show my feelings for him. He had left himself open for me to kiss him or leave him empty. The power I had was unbelievable. Jeez, guys, I wonder what we'll do. Do you guys have any preferences here? Should we kiss him? I'm the meanest person ever torturing you guys like this. We're obviously going to kiss him. I loved him and wanted to give him exactly what he wanted. Here we go! I gently leaned in, pressing my lips, letting my lips finally touch his gingerly. This is gonna get real awkward real quick, alright? James let out an almost pleasured purr against my lips before wrapping both of his arms around my waist, pulling me close to him. I moved my arms up and around his neck, feeling the kiss between us deepen to a heated height. Heated height. It's a little weird on the tongue. My chest was pounding, making me feel and see fireworks in my mind. James was everything I desired. He was the man I wanted, demon or not. It was all so supernatural to fall in love with someone so quickly. Maybe it was the sense magic I was thrown into. Maybe it was Cupid playing with my heart. Either way, I found myself melting at the thought of him being with me. I found myself combing my fingers through James's hair, making the man holding me softly tremble at my touch. He gently nibbled on my lower lip, asking me to deepen the kiss between us even further. I easily teased him before finally opening my mouth slightly for him. Oh, you guys are losing your minds! It's so good! I don't even know how I'm gonna keep a straight face reading half this shit. His tongue gently danced with mine as one of his hands slid back up my back and cradled my head. He gently leaned my body back, making me cling to him as the heat of our kiss rose higher and higher. Gently, though, James slowed the kiss down and pulled away, staring down at me. His eyes burned for me, wanting me to melt and buckle into his arms. I could feel myself melt already. James opened his mouth to speak, but as a very small blush ran along his cheeks, he was reduced to shy silence. I stared as he tried to find the words to say in my eyes. I knew exactly what he wanted. He didn't need energy, though, right? Yeah, everybody's freaking out, and Shelties is just kind of sitting back like, whatever. It's because you played this already. Are you?
No, I just...
I stared wide-eyed, feeling a blush on my cheeks grow. He didn't say anything more, but I knew what words would have followed if he continued. He wanted me. I was stunned. Was I that appealing to him? Was his passion really that deep for me? James gently lifted his head and kissed my forehead, losing the blush and finally being able to speak.
If you don't want to, we don't have to.
I could feel my mind go numb and purr at the idea. A moment with an incubus. He was a demon of sex, the purest form of lust and desire. My world would rock, and I would enjoy every second of it. At the same time, I was indeed inexperienced. Diana wasn't wrong when she claimed me to be innocent. Did I want to give that innocence to him, especially this early? I found myself forgetting the words yes and no. What could I say to him? I knew then that I want what I wanted, but how to say it without breaking the moment. Okay, kids. So here's the decision point. Obviously, one of these choices is going to lead way further than the other. Okay. I would like to once again reiterate. It gets a little spicy. There is nothing visual that you are going to see. Well, there might be a CG, but there's nothing inappropriate that you are going to see. Okay? At least I don't believe so. But we're not going into super detail, all right? Hannah! Oh my god! Chelsea says, say hold me and make them suffer. I'm not gonna do that. I know what you guys want to see. Alright, let's take a deep breath. I'm probably gonna be super awkward throughout this entire thing. Let's just hold on to your butts, alright? I couldn't believe the two words that came out of my mouth. It made the most sense to tell him yes. I needed him. I wanted him. Oh my god. Cookie, go watch it on YouTube, okay? Oh my god. Hannah, you're killing me, girl. Those two words must have made something in him finally break. James quickly resumed the kiss with me, to which I eagerly kissed back and pulled him closer to my body. The heat inside of my chest was craving his touch, and I needed to deny any space between us. Oh my god, this is gonna get so awkward so quick, you guys. James lowered a hand and brought one of my legs around his waist as he lowered his other hand to my waist. Without breaking the kiss, I gripped to his shoulders and jumped off my feet, wrapping both of my legs around him and making him hold me up. Oh, his pep. His touch kept raising my need for him higher and higher, bringing my mind to the desire that was buried in the back of my mind. James held me close, kissing me deep and making me moan against his lips. Oh my god. I could feel our bodies sink into the ground, noticing a gentle gold glow penetrate through my closed eyelids. And oh, Ray, you just came back for the best part! Yeah, man! Before I could open my eyes, however, I felt our bodies fall onto a familiar feeling bed with James landing on top of me. Yeah, okay, so this is as steamy as it gets. Like, this, visually, this is as steamy as it gets. Okay, so let's breathe, okay? Is Pep, don't ask Hannah what she got. Oh my god. Oh my god. I stared up at James and he pulled his face slowly away from mine. His eyes were almost glowing in the dark room, piercing into my soul and making me shiver in anticipation. This is a really cute ending CG, by the way. There has to be a hot spring. I don't know about that. Okay, Ispep, take a breath. He effortlessly removed his gray sweater and red tie, leaving him in his tightly fitted white button-up over me. I could practically feel the heat of his skin through the thin fabric. However, as he held me, I could slightly feel the shiver of his hands. He was nervous? Hannah. Was I his first? Interesting point. Like, he's an incubus, but this may very well be his first actual encounter. Remember, in this particular world, incubi aren't necessarily about having sex, they're about feeding off sexual energy, which doesn't necessarily require intercourse. So, plus he was kept very busy by his father with all of his studies and stuff, so really you guys shouldn't be surprised. I'm so much smiles. Okay. He wasn't going to show it. He wanted me to enjoy this moment, but was afraid of screwing up. His shivering hands showed me his emotions perfectly. I gently reached up and brought his head down, kissing him once again. I wanted him not to worry. The pleasure between us would be heavenly, and we'd go through it together. I closed my eyes and gave myself to James. Okay? Are we okay? Let's breathe. Yes, Ray, are you just saying hello, or do you need something, my dear? My body, my mind, my soul, it all belonged to him as he held me. His body, his mind, his soul, it all belonged to me as I gave into his embrace. His kisses and fingers over my skin would forever engrave themselves into my memories. Our passion rose through incredible heights. Our breaths and moans to each other equally sounded and echoed like a blissful chant we never wished to end. Yes, they are, it is Pep. We kept moving, loving, feeling every inch of our bodies until we had enough and I was enveloped in his embrace. Skin to skin, heartbeats matching, we held each other in the glow of the aftermath. That's it, guys. That's as deep into it as we get, alright? Are we good? Are we all okay? Are we not dying? Okay? I am really such a mama with you guys. It's unreal. I nuzzled my head under James's chin as he held me close.
I love you so much.
I love you too. Just to hear those words come from James's mouth made my heart flutter. To hear me answer made my soul warm in glee. I could feel both of us sink into a peaceful sleep together. It was the best sleep I'd had in days, and I was happy. I had love, and I had my happiness. My life was simply perfect. When I opened my eyes, I found myself staring into James' bare chest. I blushed, but looked up to see James still sleeping. His sleeping face made me giggle softly, but the reality of the situation made my heart flutter. Yes, that's it, is Pep. Look, there are rules on Twitch, okay? You can't go that far with this stuff. There's a hot spring in another root, Shelties. I assume it's either Suzu or Naomi's. They all go just as far as Pep. Yeah, there is more. I couldn't believe it. I was lying next to a man I had grown to love with all of my heart. His warm embrace made me feel safe, and as the tender moment we just shared replayed in my head, I couldn't help but smile and snuggle into his chest further. Unconsciously, he held me tighter to his body, giving me more of his warmth. I didn't want to move, but then my core suddenly tightened and made me sit up without waking the man next to me. I felt my legs move and bring me to my balcony window, where I opened the glass and stepped out onto the patio. Yeah, this is the real end scene, guys. Why? Because this bitch is not finished with us yet. Oh my god. It is a main character route. Well, I'm choosing the direct route to the best end, so playing around with other options might lead me there. I've never seen a hot springs scene in this game though before, so. Is Pep? No! You're too young for me to explain what Hana means. Shelties! Don't spoil it! That's bad, Shelties! Shelties? Shelties! You know better than that! Whoa! Okay, Hannah! I don't want you to spoil it for everyone else. I know what happens, but... I stare wide-eyed at Diana, who sat cross-legged on the railing of my balcony with her glowing red eyes staring upon me. I opened my mouth to object, but Diana stopped me.
Before you get all huffy, I didn't come here to take your precious man away. By the way, how was it exactly? Demons are the best lovers, after all.
I glared. What do you want, Diana?
Well, I just wanted to see how you truly feel. You know, without him around to influence you.
What are you talking about?
I'm giving you an opportunity to come clean about these feelings of yours, and to give you your salvation.
What was Diana up to? This was beyond crazy. Nothing she had done made sense. Why was I still alive at this rate? That is a very good question. Because quite honestly, she could just kill Anderson and that would solve a lot of her problems. I mean, not that the boys would ever forgive her for it, but I mean, it's definitely a direct option. What was keeping you from just killing me and taking them?
You are not worth my time.
Uh-huh. That's why you've been hanging around us trying to mess with our entire life, right? Not worth your time. What are you, afraid something might happen? All at once I felt my body being lifted into the air and moved over past the railings, leaving me with nothing but the ground below to threaten me with a collision death.
Oh, trust me, dear. I'm not afraid to kill you. I can drop you right now and leave your body to rot until the morning, when the boys would find you.
I wanted to speak, but the thought of her letting go and letting me fall to my death scared my voice into silence. Diana then chuckled and wheeled my body back to the balcony, setting me down gently.
Alas, if I kill you, then the boys would never come with me willingly back to the demon world, and then I'd have to chase them all around the world, or kill them and drag them back. But then their father wouldn't be happy, and blah blah blah. Too much work.
Yeah, pretty much the explanation as to why we're still alive. Diana seemed very business-oriented, as if the boys were cargo more than men. It irked me, but then she smiled.
I'm giving you one chance to denounce your love for the demon in your bed, and let me take him and the other boys back to the demon world.
And why, may I ask, would I do that?
There are so many reasons why, actually. There's the reason that he's a demon and you're a human, so you two can never truly have a happily ever after. Then there's the reason that demons truly do not know how to love, despite what he may proclaim. The list goes on and on. The point is, if you give me the boys, I will promise you eternal happiness.
Eternal happiness?
That's right. I have the power to give you anything you desire. Power, men, women, money, fame. Name it, and it's yours. A demon never goes back on their word, and I have the power to obtain anything you wish. Our deal is our contract.
I could only stare in shock. This was a dream. It had to be. However, Diana smiled an almost genuine smile at me, shaking me to the reality of the situation. She would never smile like that.
Don't you wish to be free of your destiny? Your father constantly berating you to become the next CEO of your grandfather's company.
How did you... I was almost floored in surprise. How did Diana know all of this? She was a succubus, yes, but how could she know anything beyond sexual desire? She wasn't Damien. Diana chuckled and leaned back against her arms.
Just because I play with hearts and sex doesn't mean I don't know my way around the human mind. You happen to be an open book of information, but I digress. I can give you your freedom with ease. It'll be like you were always meant to have it. All I ask is that you hand over the boys. What do you say?
Diana's dress is sick. It's gorgeous. If I had the body for it, I would cosplay her in a minute. That dress is amazing. Was I seriously being given this choice? The man I loved for anything I wanted? A demon like Diana was powerful enough, yes, but did I even want to consider giving up the man I loved? Obviously, we're not going to accept her offer. She must have been crazier than I thought. I glared. Absolutely not. Diana sighed and stood up onto the railing. What I wasn't expecting was her lifting me into the air. I tried to scream, but my voice suddenly became locked in silence. What was Diana doing? Diana made me float over to her and she smirked as we touched noses.
Well, if I can't return home with the boys, I might as well return home with the power to fight back.
Diana finally leaned in and kissed me. I shut my eyes, feeling the need to bite her lips, but finding no muscles in my face listening to my mental commands. What did she do to me? I didn't want to enjoy it, but every single nerve in my body was flaring in excitement and pleasure as she kissed me. I felt my energy drain slowly but forcefully from my body. Was she using her magic to force energy out of my body? It seemed like forever, but finally Diana pulled away from the kiss with a smile and a lick of her lips. She lowered me back onto the patio and chuckled. For some reason, even though nothing seemed to have changed, she looked stronger, powerful. It was almost like looking at a new Diana. Diana then stepped back off the railing, making me catch my breath in my throat. As she took another step away from me, she looked to be simply walking on the night air. Diana smirked at my sudden surprise.
May you never regret your choice, human. If you do, I'll happily come and take it away.
With a flick of her hair, Diana turned and walked away into the night, fading into the darkness like a shadow. I watched her fade away right before looking back to the man in my bed. Did I make the right choice? Obviously! My heart gave a gentle thump, giving me my answer. I did, and I will never regret it for as long as I live. I walked back inside and gently crawled back into bed with the embrace of the safest arms I knew. I snuggled close to the warmth before closing my eyes. I was happy. The rest of the story can almost be passed over. With Diana gone, my life returned to normal with school and my friends not remembering what had happened. It was as if magic never even appeared in my world. One thing was for certain, however. James loved me and I loved him just as much. We had promised our lives to each other and nothing was going to take that away from us, not even time itself. Our love was so powerful it practically overwhelmed me with joy every time I found him holding me close every morning. To think, a demon ex-prince in love with a human like me. It was unthinkable, unbelievable. It was practically impossible. But it was true. The other boys decided to leave of their own accord. They knew that my future would only need James at my side, so they each decided to start their own lives in the human world. James was heartbroken at first, but understood that he had to let his brothers grow like he did. Besides, James had someone new to care for now. His brothers didn't need him now that he was caring for me. I felt bad as well for being closer to James than the others, but they reassured me that I was okay and that they would remain nearby should I ever need them. I was happy for that. They made me promise, however, that I would love James for as long as we lived. That promise was instantly given. But what of my future? Well, it was kind of made for me. Before I graduated, James decided to step into the light of the Anderson Toy Company, and with the help of his demon powers and leadership charisma, he managed to influence not only the entire board, but my father as well into letting him run for CEO. That's right, after all the fighting for CEO, James fucking steps up and takes control of the company. I was beyond shocked. How James managed to do all of that was beyond me, but when the vote was called, James had taken over the company I was destined to have. He vowed to respect the wishes of the late CEO and help the company become an even grander company. For a demon, it was simple to make a company grand. My grandfather would have been proud to see how James helped it shine. With the CEO position filled, my father had no choice but to let me decide my future, which made me happy beyond compare. No longer would I have the future scaring me into the corner. I could choose my life on my own. That being said, I was still scared of where the future was going to take me. What did I want to do? Did I want to help James build the company? Did I want to venture off on my own? James reassured me that he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do, promising that I came first before the company he had come to reign over. I was grateful and would never forget that promise. I was happy, and nothing could shake me down from that happiness. One night, a good couple of years after the boys and I had met, I had a moment to myself, so I sat in my room and took in all that had happened as if it was a dream. The demons, the devils, the magic, it was all surreal to believe. It almost frightened me to think that it could have all been a dream. But the warm feeling in my heart reminded me that it was all real. The demons, the magic, the love I had, all real. I smiled as I held my hands to my chest, relishing in the feelings dancing within my soul.
Are you okay?
I looked up from my lap to see James standing at the doorway, cross-armed with a playful raised eyebrow. I smiled and blushed a bit. Yeah, I'm okay. I was just remembering how we met and such.
Were you now?
Yeah, and I wouldn't change anything. Damien is one of my faves. James smiled and walked over to me, gently taking my hands and kissing over the knuckles sweetly.
Come, I have a surprise for you.
I raised an eyebrow. A surprise? What the heck was he plotting? James simply chuckled and kissed my forehead.
I promise you'll love it.
Deciding to go along with it, I nodded and stood up. James gently took my arm under his and led me out of my bedroom. I stared in shock at the path of golden rose petals lining the floor, creating a path away from my door. James led me down to the golden rose path as if this was all part of his plan. James, what is going on? I think you guys can imagine what is going on. James didn't answer. He continued to lead me down the stairs of the lobby where the path wound into the dining room. I stared in shock as I saw the table set with candles and a large bouquet of golden roses decorating the middle. James, I feel sort of underdressed, you know?
There's nothing wrong with how you look now. You're beautiful no matter what clothes you are in.
I couldn't help but let a red blush paint my face, making James chuckle once again. He led me to my seat where I was greeted with a plate of shrimp pesto on the table. The dish that he made for her that first night. Adorable. James?
Remember what that is?
Of course. That, sir, is a shrimp pesto dish. James laughed and smiled. I smiled back up at him, feeling nostalgia run over my heart. Giddy happiness bubbled as I looked up at the man I loved. You made it for me when we first met. You and your brothers were apologizing for getting blood in the lobby.
Well, it was more than that we had to apologize for, but that was the gist of it, yes.
How could I forget? What's this all about? James gently bent forward and kissed my forehead sweetly, making me giggle slightly.
You are such a wonderful woman. I can't believe that I can love someone this much. You have changed my whole world, and now you have become my everything. I practically get scared waking up every morning in case this is all just a blissful dream.
James. Before I could speak further, James gently placed his fingers on my lips, hushing me before he caressed my cheek. I nuzzled into his hand, almost purring at the feeling of the warmth against my cheek.
I love you, and I will never stop loving you. No matter what comes our way, I promise to be there for you as long as time keeps moving. I want to be yours forever.
I saw Hannah. Yep! Before I could realize what was going on, James slowly got down on one knee beside me and took out a small black box. He lifted the top... Oh god, I'm choking. Hold on. Water coughing time. Ugh. He lifted the top to reveal a beautiful ring with a purple gem crowned with a gold and purple embellishments. Oh. I stared, my mind instantly freezing in surprise at the sight. I felt my eyes water at the immense feelings bursting inside my chest.
Will you, Miss Anderson, marry me?
Guys! I was speechless. I felt myself break and start to weep in joy. Was this happening? This had to be a dream. I mentally begged every single deity in the sky to never wake me up if that was the case. I fought my tears, trying to speak to answer his question. I didn't want to leave him in the dark, and I didn't want him to be on the ground for long. Yes! Yes, I will! I stood up, crying and jumping in joy as James smiled, the biggest smile I had ever seen on his face, and slid the ring onto my finger. As it finally ended up in its upward journey at the crevice of my finger, James stood up and took me into his arms, kissing me and sealing my words. I had gained the heart of a demon. No, of a man I loved. I vowed to cherish him and love him for the remainder of my days and beyond. Could a demon love a human forever? I knew James would. And that was my happily ever after. That is the end! The James proposal true ending! That is it for James's route, guys, for real this time. New password unlocked. There are passwords you could use to unlock lots of stuff. But yeah, that was it. That is the James route. So now comes the pain in the ass part. This becomes the pain in the ass part, you guys, is, I can't go on to another route yet. Because I've played through all of these, so, unfortunately, the issue becomes that I can't skip through all the stuff we've already done, to get through the other routes, and it will take hours and hours of extra time to redo all of this. So I don't even know if deleting my saves will fix it, but I think I have to try and delete my saves and go through James's route again, which I could do on stream. We could just chat and play with some other options as I do that. Or I could play something else in the meantime, but I'm probably not going to have time to go through James's route and sort through everything until, like, the weekend. And I don't want to make you guys wait. Well, today's Tuesday. I don't stream Thursdays and Fridays, so... We could do the side routes. Shelty's just like, let's do the side routes. No, we're gonna do the side routes after we do the main routes, alright? Gwen is here. Alright. Shit. I'm not really sure how we're gonna go about this. It's really up to you guys. I could play something else for now, and then we can wait till the weekend when I have time to go through all this. I don't even know if deleting the saves is even gonna work, to be totally honest with you. Getting into an MMO that's a lot, is Pep. I'm not sure if that's something that I can really do on the fly. And my friend just brought Truffle too, so I know what we're doing on Thursday. Great. Play Life is Strange. I don't have Life is Strange. See, here's the other part is I don't even have, like, a lot of these games either, which, I mean... I'm not sure what we should do for now. It's up to you guys. Do whatever you like, Ray says. Yeah, I could uninstall and reinstall Seduce Me, but it depends if it actually deletes all the files. Sometimes when you uninstall a game, it keeps the save files. I'm gonna try uninstalling it and reinstalling it first, because that would be the simplest solution. Otherwise, I just have to go into the files and just delete the save files, which isn't difficult. What games do I have on hand? That's a good question, and I can't answer it without going out of the stream. Actually, no. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Hold on. I'm doing a little bit of a test. Let's see if you guys can still hear me. I want to want to make sure if you guys can still hear me as I'm doing this. Okay, so it looks like you guys can still hear me. I have my stream my Steam overlay on now. There's got to be some way to see what my games are from the Steam overlay. Let's see. I'm almost at my next achievement for this game on Steam, which is called Fuck You, Malix. I assume we get that if we actually fight him. You want me to read fan fiction? Actually, I was playing with an idea, you guys, and I don't know if you'd be interested. I don't know if this would be the kind of thing that you would like, and I'm kind of nervous about it. But I am working on a novel, as I've talked about, and I have a prologue to this novel that I'm actually pretty proud of. And I was thinking that maybe if I wait for like some kind of like a milestone, or if I just save it for a certain day, that you guys might be interested in me reading the prologue to my novel? I don't know. I can't read that kind of stuff here, Hannah. Twitch's terms of service will not let me. Okay, hold on. I can figure this out. Hold on. Hold on. This is a list of my friends. Where is a list of my games? Here we go. Steam profile. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I need to change the links on my Steam profile. This is old shit, you guys. I don't even bit. Okay, so let's look at some of the games that I have. Let's see. I've got all the Dragon Age games. I've got all the Mass Effect games. I'm definitely streaming Mass Effect Andromeda when it comes out. That is an absolute going to happen. Oh yeah, if you guys have Steam, let us know, because Schultes wants to create a Steam group for the Chu-Chu Club. I can't believe those words even came out of my mouth. Yes, Cookie? I have RPG Maker. I'm not working on an RPG project at the moment, though. It might be fun to try and make an RPG together. That might be a fun thing. TF2 is Oblivion. Final Fantasy VII. I'm in the middle of a Final Fantasy VII playthrough. Otherwise, that would be fun to do, but I'm in the middle of it. Kind of awkward to start in the middle of it. I could do that, though, if we just want to kick around. Saints Row. BioShock. I'm almost at the end of my first playthrough of it. I have no idea what's going on in that game. Jade Empire. Borderlands is fun more with people. We did Dear Esther. Splendor's a fun game, but it's a card game. I don't know if you guys would really be into that. Duke Nukem 3D, Left 4 Dead 2. Dinner Date was terrible. We all decided that as a group. Oh, God, guys, I'm gonna regret mentioning this, but I've do have Undertale, and I've never played Undertale before. Oh, those words I'm gonna regret to the end of my days. I don't know if I can play Asagao all over again, is Pep. Oh, yeah, see, this is why I didn't want to mention Undertale, because everybody was going to start losing their minds. Do Undertale! Oh my god. Oh, I should have kept my mouth shut. Anna, I want to save for Halloween. So many choices, you guys. So many choices, you guys. I haven't played Dead Space, I haven't played the Fear games. I'm afraid to play Undertale, you guys. It gets crazy, you know what I mean? Like, the fans get just nuts about it. I played a little bit of it, and to be honest, it didn't really grab me. I'm probably gonna do it one day, though, knowing me. I have Half Minute Hero. I have Her Story, which I've yet to play. I have no mouth and I must scream. That's a puzzle game. That might be fun to play. It's a kind of horror thriller, weird dystopian kind of future post World War II kind of point and click adventure game. What happened to Stardew Valley? To be totally honest, I kind of lost interest in Stardew Valley a little bit. I think because I'm not really engaging in it the way that I really want to. The days in that game are way too short for me, and I know that the game is very, like, laid back and stuff, but I'm a very goal-oriented gamer, and I feel like just as I'm getting into trying to get to my goal, like, it's really late in the day and I have to bail out and go back to my farm and sleep. I don't even have, like, any free room on my farm. I can't seem to acquire money or resources in a fast enough time where it seems like I can really, truly make any progress. I might be looking at it wrong, but... here we go. Limbo. Maya's Mata, I want to save for Halloween as well. Desolate, I'm not sure. That's kind of a little bit of a vague game description. Yeah, see, Shelties, it's the fan base for Undertale that concerns me. Not that I would be worried about you guys, but I know that it gets super crazy. And I don't know. I've had a little bit of it ruined for me because I know people who are just like, it's like taken over their lives to the point where it's just like, it's just kind of almost annoying at how, like, in your face Undertale has been. I'm probably gonna lose, like, every follower I have now because I'm saying negative things about Undertale. I have the Graveyard. That's another small indie game I wanted to try and play. Yeah, Gwen, exactly. There's so much hype and everybody is so freaking out over it that, like, it almost seems like it's not even worth it. Like, they get crazy. It's one of the most rabid fandoms I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of rabid fandoms. I've seen a lot of terribly toxic fandoms. I've been in severally toxic fandoms and then promptly left. I really want to play. Once I get my game, my broadcaster set up, it's gonna definitely open up the array of games that I can play. There are DOS games that I want to play. There are emulated games that I want to play. There's so much stuff that I want to play. God damn it. Hold on 1 second. I should also have a bigger array of games next week, by the way, because this Thursday the Steam Summer Sale is starting. God damn you, Steam, stealing all our monies. Yeah. So I'm not sure what you guys want to do. You know what? I'm gonna end the stream here because this went on way too long. Okay. So let me end the stream here, and then I'm gonna start it back up in a couple of minutes with either this again. I'm gonna try to uninstall and reinstall it, or another game or whatever. So just stay in the chat. I will be in the chat. Let me just load something else up. I'm gonna end this stream here for now, though. Okay? If you guys are on YouTube, thanks for watching. We'll pick up with more Seduce Me at some point once I get this fixed because I'm stupid and I didn't prep this game right. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching.